As a new study that reinforces part of what the president's talking about there, that some people are influenced heavily by where they get their information, including on COVID. I just want to go through a little bit of it, and then we'll bring in one of the prime drivers of this study. Who provides trustworthy COVID information? Well, 83% of Americans are very confident in the information they get from a doctor or a nurse. Only 10% say they're not confident. 77% are confident with what they hear from the Food and Drug Administration. 76% confident, 24% not, what they hear from the Centers for Disease Control. Dr. Anthony Fauci, nearly 7 in 10 Americans say they're confident, right? 7 in 10 confident, 32% not confident. But when you look at Dr. Fauci, this is where you get at it. If you get your news from far-right sources, OAN, Newsmax, things like that, only 38% of those people have confidence in Dr. Fauci. If you get your news primarily from Fox News, about half, 51%, say they have confidence in Dr. Fauci. If you watch what's defined as the mainstream media, I think we're in this boat here, 84% have confidence in Dr. Fauci. And if you only get your news, or you predominantly get your news from social media platforms, 7 in 10 Americans have confidence in Dr. Fauci. At this point, let's bring into the conversation Kathleen Hall Jamieson. She's the director of the Annenberg Public Policy Center at the University of Pennsylvania, the driver of this research. Kathleen, just what jumped out the most when you're looking at, who trusts what and where they get it from in the middle of this pandemic?
Single most important finding, people, regardless of where they get their media, trust their doctor, their nurse, their healthcare provider, which means that the strategy that says, let's trust at the local level that these folks can make a difference now, particularly with the vaccination hesitant, is a really, really important insight. And that's consistent with what the Biden administration is trying to do, trying to deliver the message at the local level, door to door, using people who are trusted.
And so I want to come back to what I was just talking about a minute ago and showing some of the graphics from your study. Half of Fox News viewers are confident in Dr. Fauci. Fewer than 4 in 10 who get their news from what you describe as more far-right sources, even than Fox News, if you will. It's an echo chamber, correct?
It is, but not a uniform one or a monolith. There are hosts on Fox News who have supported vaccination. Their voices need to be amplified. There are voices on Newsmax, including the director, the head, who have now made strong statements about vaccination. They need to say that more clearly and more loudly. The people whom we trust inside our media ecospheres are almost like friends to us. And when they say, it's really up to you, and don't in the process say, but I have vaccinated, they're also missing part of their message. You talked earlier about people who won't acknowledge whether they've been vaccinated. If people overrepresent the likelihood that most people aren't vaccinated, they're less likely to vaccinate. That's why it's important that every one of us say, I've been vaccinated, if of course we have. In my case, I have, my husband has, my children have, my grandchildren have. Everyone whom I can talk to will hear a vaccination message from me.
And let me ask you one more other one here. You mentioned those who are unvaccinated and they say they're unlikely to get vaccinated. They list a number of reasons. You offer them several different options. You can do it. But 6 in 10 say it's too untested. 44% say they worry about side effects. 32% say they're simply not concerned about COVID. 27% say they never get vaccinated. What jumped out when you're looking at this, the most reluctant, the people who say, no, hell no, I'm not going to get a vaccine. In finding out why, did you see any path to maybe break through?
To the extent that we've now had multi-millions of individuals who have been safely vaccinated, we've increased the likelihood that you know someone, if you're vaccination hesitant, who's had the vaccine without any serious complications, and as a result now is safer. You also are highly likely to know someone who believes the vaccine is safe and effective. 3/4 of the people in our survey said they believe that, and 3/4 said they believe getting the vaccine is safer than getting COVID. Those people who've had the vaccine, believe it's safe and effective, believe it's safer and more effective, it's better than getting COVID, need to talk to everybody in their environment to increase the likelihood that those of us who are enclaved inside media universes where we only hear about hesitance are hearing the vaccination message. Message imbalances matter, and if you hear more of the information that says safe and effective, see, I'm evidence of it. And if you think about all the vaccines you've had in the past that have protected you, you're going to increase the likelihood that you're going to get vaccination hesitance reduced among at least some.
Kathleen Hall Jamieson, grateful for your time today, grateful for this important study. It's very helpful trying to sort through some of the questions out there. And we'll talk again, I'm sure. Up next for us, Donald Trump, in his own words, and perhaps